So yeah, look at that. And it looks like it's a little wind like blowing it to where the little curls are moving around.
She said, y'all gonna remember me.
How are you, ladies? Good evening.
We are excited to have you doing this master class.
Yes, because you broke the internet the last time you were here.
You did, and everybody was trying to keep up with what, including me. I still have my little notes that I took. And one thing I do want to really thank you for, because I had never heard of funds for writers. I hadn't heard about that, and I signed up for their newsletter. And so now I get the notifications and the information that comes in. And, you know, knowledge is power.
Yes, knowledge is power when you put it to use. Knowledge alone ain't power. It's powerful when you put it to use.
Though, because if you don't even have the knowledge, you can't even put it to use.
You can't, but that's what makes it powerful. Putting it to use, because I can share everything under the sun, but if you don't do nothing with it, it ain't powerful.
Well, you're right, because that lines up with the biblical faith without works is dead. So that's the same thing. You can have all the faith in the world. If you just sit around and do nothing, nothing will happen. You have to act on your faith. So that's
my desire for people to implement and execute, you know, the information that's shared with them on this amazing platform.
Well, thank you. And we're happy to bring people new information on a regular basis. I'm excited when I find out about things that are happening that I, share and reach out to the people that are doing things. And most of the time, they respond. Not everybody reads their email or responds, but that's just, I just feel like eventually they will, or it's their loss if they didn't. So I just look at it like that. So, but thank you, Joylynn, for coming, and I'll turn it over to you. We're going to, have the platform open for people to ask questions. Rhonda will be monitoring that for the most part. I'll be looking, but she really monitors it. So I just look. By the time I see it, she's already responded. So, anyway, it takes two.
I have all my notes. I'm gonna be marking them off this time, though. So I might repeat a couple of things from the last time, but I'm going to go a little bit slower now that I have more time, and just really give away some information that can be implemented and executed, so that you can either increase your book sales and your royalties, or catapult your literary career, accelerate your literary career, or your literary business, your book business, or even your publishing business. So that's the goal, to just share with you some actionable items that you can do to achieve your literary dreams, visions, and goals, and your measure of both literary success and financial literary success.
Okay.
We need both.
And I love the actionable. Normally they use that word with intelligence. Like I watch a lot of CIA type stuff, and it's always actionable intelligence. So anyway, take it away, Joylynn.
Okay, so thank you, Mary Evans. First of all, I know she is such an amazing author, and she supports this platform like nobody else I know.
Yes, she does. I don't know what we do without Mary.
Yeah, she reached out to me. She did my Zoom banner, so thank you, Mary Evans.
Well, she did our Zoom banner too. She did this one. She did the one for the festival. She did mine for my Boss Women book. So thank you, Mary.
Yes, and I will tell you, anyone who needs your Zoom backgrounds, definitely go to Mary. And let me tell you, she's very effective and efficient. And it's worth every penny you pay her. And she's an expert in it. And even though she gets it done quick, what we have to realize in this business, in any business, is that you're not paying people because they can do something in 10 minutes. You're paying them for the 10 years it took them to learn how to do it in 10 minutes, okay? A lot of times we think, well, that was quick. That only took her 5 minutes. That only took her 10 minutes. But there's education and time that goes behind
She
what
didn't
we
just
do.
throw this together. She knows what she's doing.
Yeah, she knows what she's doing. It would take us 2 weeks and it would still be looking crazy. Okay? So,
Well, it would make me, give me a headache trying to figure it out. So I don't even want to. I try to stay in my lane, and give other people the lanes that they excel in. Let me hire them to do whatever it is, because I don't need to do it all. Don't want to do it all. Don't need to do it all. I try to stay.
And you shouldn't. And with all the information I'm about to share, you want a team. You do not want to be that whole, person who I did it all and nobody helped me. You don't want that to be your swan song. You do not want that to be your testimony. That is not a badge of honor when there's so many resources out here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And in speaking with Mary, she said, besides the, you can go buy my book or you can go to my website. What would be a takeaway you want from people? You want people to get from, your masterclass. And I said, first and foremost, the best advice I can always give writers, literary creatives, and authors is to learn the business of writing and publishing. Learn the business of it. And what Mary brought to my attention was that, but a lot of creatives, a lot of writers, and a lot of authors, they don't even see this as a business. So they might not even understand that concept. So that's a question that I would like to pose. How many writers out there, literary creatives, authors, really see this as a business? How many of you out there putting out works, writing, publishing, distribute, selling? How many of you honestly see this as a business? So that's something you can start dropping in the comments, because that's what I'm here to talk about. The business of writing and publishing, the business of it. Okay. And again, not everybody wants to turn their book into a business. I absolutely get that. I absolutely understand that. It takes work to build a business. And some people don't want to put in that work. They feel like writing the book was enough, and they are content and they are satisfied and they are comfortable with book sales and royalties alone. And there is nothing wrong with that. But I'm here to talk to the people who want to turn their book into a business. I'm here to talk to the people who want to build a literary legacy while building a literary empire, and not just create a business, but a profitable business. So let me just tell you right now, stop getting on platforms talking about, I don't do this for the money. No one goes into business not to make money. Call it a hobby, call it a ministry, call it a love, call it a passion. But if you are going to go into business, you want it to be a profitable business. So if you're ever pitching your business, your book business, any business, use the word profitable. I'm here to build a profitable business, which means making money. And again, it's okay if that's not what you want to do with your book. If you want to do all of this work to save and touch and reach one life, that's fine. But this is too much work for me to do it to just reach one person. Mm-hmm. Am I happy when I get that testimonial, that email where my work has changed someone's life, touched someone's life, or even saved their life? I am so happy and filled with gratitude. That only incites me to want to reach more. So you'll never hear me say my work is done just because I've touched one person. And I don't want to hear all about that ripple effect and pay it forward and each one teach one. We are here to reach the masses with our literary works, with our stories, regardless of the genre, be it fiction, be it poetry, be it a journal, be it nonfiction. We are here because we know our written words are going to affect, are going to change, and are going to make an impact in someone else's life, whether it's to make them smile because it's a funny, a humorous book, or whether it's to help them with their personal, spiritual, financial, personal development and growth. We are putting out these words because we want to make a difference. We want to make an impact, and we want to do it to as many people as we can. We want to use this book as our platform to stand on to reach the masses. So be happy, be comfortable, be grateful when you reach that one life, but do not be satisfied with just reaching one life. Because if my business is to bake cakes, I don't want a dozen cakes on my counter, but only sell one, but only get one person full. We need to feed the world and get the world full off our written words. That's what I mean when I say, look at it as a business. Is that what you want to do? If it's just lip service and it sounds good and it's a humbling thing to say during an interview, then again, this is not for you. This is for people who are ready to put in what it takes to turn their book into the foundation of their business, not the entire business, okay? But the foundation. What I mean by that, when you make your book your entire business, you're typically only focused on book sales and royalties. Your book should be the foundation on which you can grow multiple streams of cohesive, the word cohesive, literary revenue, which means using your role as an author to optimize, maximize, and monetize, okay? And to monetize your role as an author and your book, okay? So I love this. I love teaching people how to make money. A lot of people think it's putting the cart before the horse if they haven't yet written the book. But with the information that I'm sharing with you, you'll be able to position yourself to never have to use the hashtag struggling author. Okay, that hashtag struggling author isn't cute. And if you're a struggling author, it's because you want to be. There's far too many resources out here. There's far too many free money, grant, whether you have a 501c, a nonprofit, you can use fiscal agents, you can partner with people to get the grants there. It's free money out there. So now that I've preached, may I teach?
Okay.
Okay. And I have my notes and I'm just going to go.
Okay.
I'm going to put Q&As in there, but I really want to get out as much information as I can, because you can come back to this platform and you can watch it and you can hear it and you can do it. I don't want to inspire anybody right now. Okay. This isn't about inspiring. I tell people all the time, if you want to get inspired, follow me on social media. I say some very inspirational, motivating things. I'm here to incite you. Being inspired is emotional and that can go away. But when you are incited, you put action, you put movement behind the emotion. So it's okay if you want to get inspired, but make sure you get incited as well. Okay. Put this to action. So here we go. Go beyond talking about the characters in your book and talk about people. When you are pitching your book, when you are discussing your book, go beyond talking about the characters in your book and talk about people. In my fiction books, I call them characters for industry's sake, but I write about real people in real situations. And as authors, it's mainly fiction authors, we write what we know first anyway. Okay. And then we research what we don't know. And then we typically make up all the rest. So we're typically writing about real people and real situations that involve us, that involve people we know, that involve family and friends. So look at that as you're talking about people, and people want one thing. They want one thing, regardless of the genre of the book. They want one thing from that book. They want help. They want help from that book. Entertainment, yes, but why do they want the entertainment? Why do they have to go escape in the books from their real life? Okay, so what you want to do is you always want to know. You always want to know, because if you, the writer, if you, the author, don't know this, you are going to have a heck of a time convincing other people, namely readers, this. You need to know the problem or the issue your book addresses. Yes, I'm talking to fiction authors and nonfiction authors. What problem does your book address? For fiction authors, look at your main characters. What's their dilemma? Okay. But what is their struggle? What is their pain points? What are they trying to overcome? Okay. What is that tension? What are those outside forces? What are those internal forces? What is the problem and the issue? that you are addressing in your book with your characters. Okay. Is your character dealing with a domestic violence situation? Is your character dealing with betrayal from a spouse, friends, dealing with a bad relationship with family members, parents, dealing with rape, dealing with incest, dealing with not being able to choose which man to go with if it's a romance book. But what is the issue? What is the problem that your book is addressing? And then what is the solution? And this is for you to know, because this is going to help you talk about the book and market the book. What is the solution? So here's the problem. What's the solution to the problem? Now, this is where a lot of nonfiction books, this is my pet peeve with a lot of nonfiction books. They will state the problem and they will tell you the solution, but they fail to give you the process.
Right.
They fail to give you the process. Even in a fiction book, you have the problem, you have the solution. Now, what is the process I need in order to get to that desired outcome, to get to that solution? Not fiction authors, and this is for fiction and nonfiction, but fiction authors always seem to think that these same steps and strategies and systems cannot work for them. And I promise you, they do. I only have a handful of nonfiction works. This is what I do with my fiction works. This is what I do to be able to make the bestsellers list, to be able to do a pre-order campaign that lasts 3 months and make $20,000 in the pre-order campaign. This is what I'm able to do. So I'm talking from the fiction standpoint and the nonfiction standpoint, okay? Show that process in your book. Nonfiction writers, tell us the problem, you tell us the solution, but tell us that process. Here is what you have to do to get to this desired outcome. And it doesn't always have to be, this is what you do. Show us what we shouldn't do, okay? Show us what we shouldn't do, because these are all the wrong steps you can take. And if you take these wrong steps, it can end in divorce. It can end into addiction. So you can show us what to do and what not to do. It's still a process. It's still a process. And what you want to be able to do is you want to be able to know the symptoms to that problem. Okay, some people don't know they have a problem unless you tell them. Why do they need your book? Why do they need your services? Why do they need your speaking services for you to come speak, teach, talk, do a writing workshop, or talk as an expert on the subject matter your book covers? What are some of the symptoms? Okay, so think about that. Know the problem your book addresses, but what are the symptoms? How do I know I have this problem? What are some of the symptoms? And I say you use that in marketing because when you start saying that in marketing, are you struggling with selling books? Are you tired of getting a royalty check under $10 for 3 months of work? I'm rattling it off, and then people are like, yeah, I am. Yeah, that's me. Yes, that's me. Some people don't know they have the problem because they don't know the symptoms of the problem. You have to tell them the symptoms. That's part of the marketing. And then you give them the prescription, which is your book, which is your service, which is your product. Okay? That's that 5-step process I need you to get down for any business. For any business you are in, any endeavor, literary or not, okay? So let me mark that out. Okay. I got pages here. Okay, any questions about that before I move on?
Okay, so let's talk about the actual 5 steps. So the first step would be identifying the problem. Mm-hmm. Okay, and then Mary, I hope you're writing this down.
She commented, solve the problem.
Okay, so then you also want to list the symptoms of the problem.
Solution. Mm-hmm.
The solution.
This is what you need to know. Yeah, this is what you need to know first and foremost. Because when people ask you about your book, your product, or service, once you know this, you're rattling it off. You're rattling, you know it. And now you're it's like, whoa. Now they're interested because now they're like, oh wow, oh yeah. Well, even if I don't have that problem, my neighbor has that problem, my sister has that problem. Because what we have to realize is that the reader is not our only customer. We like readers, we love readers, but who do we love more when we're talking about a profitable business? We love buyers. We love book buyers. And not all book buyers are readers, but now we going somewhere else. Rhonda, let's go back.
Okay.
Number 2, solution.
Okay, so we have the solution.
Yeah, but then we have the process.
The process.
Okay.
You got to know the process.
Process.
You got to show that in your book.
Mhm.
Because
Okay.
you're going to make a promise. On the back of your book, you're giving them a synopsis. So
Yeah.
you're making a promise. Your synopsis should be making a promise to your reader. Your synopsis should be telling your reader what they are about to get. Okay? And that's a promise. So if I'm reading your synopsis and you're sharing what's inside of this book and you don't fulfill that, then that means you didn't fulfill your promise that you told me I was going to get on the back of your book. And I want to see that process.
Right.
So that's number 3, the process. And then number 4 is knowing the symptoms of the problem your book solves.
Okay.
Right.
And then 5 is the prescription.
Okay.
There we
Which
go.
is your book.
Prescription.
Which is your book or your service or your product.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. All right. And since I touched upon it, you got to know the difference between who your customers are, who your fans are, who your supporters are, who your super fans are, who your book buyers are, because again, readers are not your only, they're not your only customer. They're not the only audience you should be pitching to. Book buyers. Remember, we're talking about profitable businesses right now. So we want people to buy our books. We want people to buy those books. So it's the book buyers. It's the individuals who, again, may not necessarily need your book and may not read your book, but because you've been able to rattle off those 5 steps, and now they're thinking about somebody they know, and they're like, wow, this is the answer. This is the answer to my, Rachel needs. This is the answer that Bob needs. You've just given them an answer, whether it's for them or not. It's for the book buyer. So the whole, do you read books? Cancel that. That like book pitching 101. I don't care whether you read or not. Do you buy? And it's not about do you read books, because that doesn't matter. And then, do you read sci-fi? That doesn't matter either. What matters is that you not tell them how great your book is, but again, tell them the great things your book will do for them, the benefits, the features and the benefits. Features are cute for marketing, but benefits close the sale. Okay? Features are great for marketing, cute for marketing, but benefits close the sale. How is this going to benefit you? I don't care whether you read or not. If I have the answer, and now in this day and age, people want answers, people want help. So whether you read or not is irrelevant to me. Whether you read sci-fi or not is irrelevant to me. You better pitch that sci-fi book and make that be the first sci-fi book they read. Okay? Right. So whether they read sci-fi or not, whether they read or not, doesn't matter, especially with all the formats we can put our books in, with the audio. So where are we going to start asking people, well, do you listen to book? No, pitch it. It doesn't even have to sound like a book. When you pitching a problem, when you pitching a solution, when you pitching a process, when you pitching the symptoms, when you have the answer, the antidote, and the prescription, it doesn't even have to come off like a book. Y'all with me?
Okay.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that, Joylynn, because back when we first started writing, those were our pitches. We saw people walking down. Do you read books? I'd like to tell you about my book. And then we'd have to do this whole song and dance and tap dance and do the Sammy Davis Jr. just to get the person to say, well, good luck. And then they keep
exactly. And see, but when you have the business mindset, an elevator pitch ain't nothing when you on the wrong elevator.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello? Be on the right elevator. Be in the right place. Be in the right space. Okay? All right. So this is for mainly children book author, but it can be for YA authors and middle grade authors as well. Put together a virtual summer camp for kids based upon your children's book. Charge, just like all these other summer camps do. Charge. You put together your virtual summer camp for kids using your book as the foundation. Remember, I'm going to keep telling you that the book, I say make your book a business, but you know what I mean. It's going to be the foundation that builds the literary empire. So put together a virtual summer camp for kids. And don't forget about the adults who read children's books. Here in Vegas, we have book clubs where the book clubs, that's what they read. They read children's books. Remember, they're the ones buying the book anyway. The adults are buying the books. So the children's book you have to pitch and sell and market to the adults anyway. Bundle your books, bundle your children's books with t-shirts, coloring books, stuffed animals, dishes, cups, etc. I'm so big when it comes to merchandise. Right now, you know, I'm definitely repping the platform. But I also, you know, I rep my own brand. And what I do is I order these. I'm jumping around, y'all, but I got notes.
That's okay.
We'll come back. I ordered these. What are they called? It's just the I ordered the logo.
I can't. Your voice faded out.
Now we can't hear you at
Is the
all.
audio on?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, I ordered the decal.
Okay.
So I don't order the clothing. I order the decals, and I put it on my own clothing. So I may go to Walmart and see this cute $9.99 dress, and I put my brand on it.
Oh, okay. You do it like that.
Or I sell it. Yeah, I order about maybe 60, and then I sell them too. I sell them on my website. So I'm all about merchandise. But I don't have to, when people invite me somewhere, I don't have to say what's the dress code. The dress code is my brand, boo. The dress code is my brand, and I think this is a dress. So I will hook my little dress up. I have my brand on it. Think about what we used to visualize as the typical businessman. See, some of us, we want to go to the networking events, and we want to make sure we have on the best earrings, the best outfit, the best shoes, and all of that. But the guy there with a golf shirt and his logo, he's branded. You branding somebody else. You branding Louis Vuitton. You branding Michael Kors. He branding his business with a golf shirt.
Yeah, but we fancy though.
But some be fancily broke. He's talking about profitable. He's talking about profitable businesses. Put on that golf shirt with your brand. Be fancy later on your yacht, on your chateau in France with your family. Be fancy for them. Be fancy for God in church on Sunday. But when you're going out here networking, be branded.
Okay. I have my branding on my mugs.
Yes. Yes.
And playing cards.
When I sleep, I'm thinking about that.
Yes, come on, pillow.
You got a pillow. I don't have a pillow yet.
Yeah. So let me give y'all the trick about the pillows, and I have all. What's it called? Shutter. Wait a minute.
Shutterfly. Shutterfly.
Is that where all the stuff comes in the orange? The big orange envelopes?
Yes.
So when you order from them once, they send you all of that. Oh, you just got 10 free gifts. Oh, you just got 5 free gifts. So that's what I do. Or sometimes they'll say, now you get half off of everything. So that's what I'll do. When I get those, so I typically only pay shipping on this stuff.
Okay.
When they say I get a free placemat, and I get those free placemats. You know why? Because some of us don't have offices. We have to use cafes. We have to use libraries. We have to use business centers. So when I go to meet individuals outside of my workspace, my workplace, I show up early and I brand it. So I put down my placemats that I got free from Shutterfly. I put down my placemats. I put down my coasters. I have free coasters too. And I put down my cups, and I brand it. I brand the room. Even if I'm going to a cafe or Starbucks, I put down my placemats. So that's just what I do. And once you order once from Shutterfly, they're going to keep sending you, get 10 free items, get 5 free items, get this, that, and the other 50% off, no shipping. So I have so many branded items like these pillows, mugs, placemats, keychains, all those type of things. Okay. But you can also get them at places like Uprinting. You can get them at places like Sticker Mule. I love Sticker Mule because they have all different kinds of cute stickers. And so when I don't want to pay to get personalized hand sanitizer, when I don't want to pay to get personalized water bottles, I order stickers and I cover up whatever is on those bottles with my brand. Okay? So hear me, stickers. Get
Okay.
stickers and put
Okay.
them over. Brand everything.
Right, and Sticker Mule also has the transparent sticker, so it doesn't have to just be a white box.
Yep. They
So
have
you put that on a
transparent.
bottle and it still looks like it belongs there.
And absolutely, but if stuff is already on the bottle, you want to get a white background on your sticker because you want to be able to cover up
Cover it
the
up.
other stuff. So what I use my transparent stickers for is, for example, we have the COVID screen protectors. When we have in-person events, we want to make sure we keep our volunteers healthy. So when people check in, we have those,
The plexiglass.
plexiglass, and we use the transparent stickers to put on our plexiglass. So everything's branded.
Okay.
So everything's branded. So start thinking about stickers. Stickers are very economical. Think about where you could place these stickers to brand yourself. Magnets, but Sticker Mule, order from them once, every now and then. They give you an email to, hey, we got our black t-shirts and you can get one for $9.99. Well, I've gotten 4 so much, so I get it for $9.99, free shipping, and I either keep it for myself or I raffle it off or I sell them in my online merchandise store. So again, that's a bug I wanted to drop. When you get into branding, something as economical as stickers.
All right, Joylynn, we got to get to the good stuff. You done already went through 35 minutes of your presentation.
Okay, so I said to put together this ain't good so far.
It's all good stuff.
Okay, you said get to the good stuff. I'm like, well, dang, hasn't been bad. Okay, let's see. I want to go to my book right now. I want to go to my book, Act Like an Author, Think Like a Business, Ways to Achieve Financial Literary Success. And I want to share some tips and information that I have in this book. And this book is all about ways to make money. So this is the good stuff I believe Rhonda is talking about. So one part is turn resources into financial resources, okay? Turn your resources into financial resources. Whether your book is fiction or nonfiction, if you touch upon a subject matter in which you find it will be helpful to list resources such as agencies, organizations, foundations, and companies in the back of the book or in the body of the manuscript, add to your reader's experience by doing so. Add those resources your readers can go visit. Again, if your book is about domestic violence or rape, what are some resources? What are some agencies they can go to for help? And then you can add to your income by then going back to those resources and pitching a partnership, a collaboration, a joint venture with those resources you listed, with those agencies, because you could say, here, look, I listed you in my book. Go back and pitch a partnership, collaboration, or a joint venture, or simply get them to sponsor your literary efforts or sell your book in bulk to them. Because your book is dealing with something clearly their patrons, their audience, their consumers need, they can partner and they may find it something worth making sure every person they service has a copy of your book. So turn your resources that you list into your book into financial resources. Okay, another tip, bottle it up and sell it. I have literary services I charge a fee for, but I have literary information, tips, advice, and resources I give away for free. Actually, I'm not giving anything away for free. It's called inbound marketing. Instead of reaching out to potential clients, outbound marketing, I'm attracting them with great content so that ultimately they'll reach out to me for my paid services. In short, give away valuable information and bottle up the priceless information and sell it. Okay. I talked about how readers aren't your only customers. Make sure you're pitching to gift shops, churches, prisons, military, corporations, vineyards. Think of all the topics that you are covering in your book. If it's children's books, think about candy shops you can partner with, ice cream parlors you can partner with. Think outside your book, which means think outside of bookstores, okay? As places, think of museums, think of galleries, think of all the different places you can pitch to, okay?
Joylynn, somebody's asking, what is the name of the book? You mentioned your book.
The name of the book is Act Like an Author, Think Like a Business. I think the lighting's covering, but Act Like an Author, Think Like a Business, Ways to Achieve Financial Literary Success. Rhonda, I think I sent you that link. If you could drop that
Yes.
link in there, that would be great. I'm gonna keep this moving. Win new readers with contests and competitions. Winning literary contests is a great way to not only earn income as a writer, if there is a cash prize awarded, but to be able to add award-winning author to your marketing material, okay? You only have to win one award to use the word award-winning author for the rest of your literary life. If you hit the bestsellers list, you only have to hit the bestsellers list one time to use best-selling author for the remainder of your literary life, okay? And award-winning and best-selling, adding that to your marketing material, that alone will attract new readers and pique the interest of your target audience. Remember though, in order to win the competition, you have to enter it first. Research and vet writing competitions and contests such as the Writer's Digest annual writing competition to make sure they are legit before entering, as most will have an entry fee, because a lot comes along with whether you win or lose that competition, okay? So really vet these different competitions and awards. And remember, the goal is to make money, not throw it away by not doing your due diligence. Make sure that it is an authority competition, that journals, that publishers, hold to a high standard. Okay, let's see some more. All right, and the Grammy goes to, we talked about how if you're leaving money on the table, if you don't offer your book in multiple formats, I talk about putting your book out there in multiple formats, such as audio, which is really hot right now. We've talked about how submitting your book for awards and contests can help spike sales. Why not combine both these tips? Turn your book into an audio book and then nominate it for a Grammy under the category of Best Spoken Word Album. See, I serve a big guy, so I don't do small. If I'm going to go big, I go big. So I'm going for the Grammy. I'm turning my book into an audio book, and I'm submitting it to the biggest contest out there. I'm submitting it to the Grammys, okay? And in this book, I give you the links. How do you submit? Because there's a link. Most people don't even know that. There is a link you go to submit to the Grammys. And what you do is you submit your audio book to the Grammys for the Best Spoken Word Album, okay? So that notoriety alone, to be able to say, Grammy nominated author, Grammy nominated book, okay? Plan to make money from your book. Plan to make money from your book if, again, you are someone who wants to start and wants to have a profitable book business. Writing a book, again, can be a hobby. Selling a book is a business. And then there are those in which books are their side hustle. That's all well and good. We've already said that. But even then, as an author, you have to treat your book hustle like a business, or else you'll just be hustling books. Over time, you should develop the following. Here's a list of what you need to develop. This thing is for real, a profitable business you are trying to build here. A business plan, a marketing plan, pre-publication campaigns, distribution and wholesaler contracts, name registration. Register your business name, both local and with the government if you plan on trademarking it, trade naming it, okay? Books in print, Valky's Books in Print. Make sure you are putting your book information in there. Anybody who buys books, retailers, churches, gift shops, they are going to Valky's Books in Print. It is their book Bible. Make sure when you buy your ISBN from Valkyr, you are taking advantage of the opportunity to list your book's metadata and book in print, okay? Have your standard contracts and agreements, okay? The handshake, and because you're my girl or you're my guy or you're my mother's cousin or friend from work, this is a business. Contracts, agreements, even if no money is being exchanged, you want everything in writing, all expectations to be laid out on the table, free or paid. Any disclaimers, for example, I even have a disclaimer in my book, because what I know is that everything I put in my book works. It doesn't work for some, it works for everybody who works it. But I have a disclaimer in there saying, hey, I have no control over whether you do the work or not. I have no control over whether you implement and execute. But if you do implement and execute, you are going to get a return on your investment and then some. So sometimes we need disclaimers. Nonfiction authors, especially when you're giving advice, whether you are certified, licensed, or not. You want to make sure you have disclaimers in there, in your book, on your material, on your website, whatever it needs to be. Content copyright. Make sure you are copywriting your content even outside of your book, your blogs, your articles, your social media posts. You can now take a collection of your social media posts and you can now copyright that with the government. Know your keywords for your book, know your BISAC code, know your target audience, have great customer service, whether it's you changing your voice to answer your own phone or whether you hire a VA or a college student. Customer service is key. Customer service is not always the phone call, it is the email as well. Get yourself a email manager. I have an email manager. I have a virtual assistant, but I also have an email manager, and she strictly just handles my email. Newsletters. Try to put out newsletters if you can. I'm not saying it's something you have to do. I'm not saying you have to do everything I'm sharing with you. Do what lines up with helping you reach your literary dreams, vision, and goals or measure of success, and do that. Press releases. Learn who your customer is beyond readers. We talked about that a little bit. Turning social media followers into customers. You can have 1 million followers on social media that you can't convert into 1 million paying customers. So you have to make sure you turn your social media followers or those who are potentially your customers or clients, because not everyone is your potential client or customer. That's why you don't see Louis Vuitton going crazy trying to lock people up for selling off his knockoff purses, for selling off their knockoff purses. Because Louis sitting back there saying, if you got to buy my purse as a knockoff, you were never my ideal client anyway. You were never my ideal client, so I'm not coming for you. I'm not about to waste time. We gonna keep serving the people who are our clients, okay? So make sure you learn who your customers are beyond readers. And again, turn social media followers into customers. Building your literary business Bible. Your literary business Bible is all this information that I'm telling you and sharing with you. Put it in one of those 6-inch binders you can order off Amazon for $21.95. You refer to it and have everything on hand, especially when it's time to get that free money, when it's time to get those free grants, when it's time to get partnerships, when it's time to get in Google cohorts, when it's time to get $20,000 worth of Facebook and Instagram ad credits like I just got last week. You want to be able to have your ducks in a row. And not only that, but when you die, because you are going to die someday, whoever you leave your business to, which is called a literary executor, okay? A literary executor, maybe not even leave your business to, but leave the rights to oversee your works, when you've gone. That person should be able to take your literary business book Bible, and they should be able to run your company. God forbid you become incapacitated. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? What if you're right in the middle of edits? What if you're right in the middle of a deal from book to film for foreign translations? Do you have somebody in writing who is going to be your literary executor who can oversee those things and continue those transactions for you? Do you have someone who can renew your copyright 70 years after your death? Do you have this operating procedures? Do you have that business book Bible that can be passed along? Okay. Again, your business successor, your press kit, your author toolkit, which has your standard things, your bio, your photos, things of that nature, your one-page EPK, electronic press kit, your sales sheet for your book, your social media positioning, whether you're going to be on social media on every platform, active or not, at least at minimum, have an account, and make sure that people can find you from that account. Make sure your website, your email address, any type of business phone number, again, whether you're going to be active or not, at least have that profile set up and make it phenomenal. Your author branding, your author platform. What is your author platform you use to sell, promote, and pitch your book? Infographic bio, multiple bios. Your book matter, which means your front book matter, and your back book matter. I see authors not utilizing that in their front book matter. What people are saying about the author, what people are saying about the author's other books, what people are saying about the author's books now. Back cover matter. So order bulk. for speaking engagements. Readers, thank you for reading the book. Now will you please go leave a review? Use your front book matter and use your back book matter to create more sales, to create more interest, to land speaking engagements, to land workshops. Use that matter. And I see far too many authors not using that matter. Put it in the back of the book, put a sales sheet for your other titles, for your other work, okay? And the list goes on. Have a accountant. If you want to start off with FreshBooks is one under QuickBooks. I use QuickBooks because I'm a whole company. But if you're a solopreneur, you're an entrepreneur, you might want to start off with FreshBooks. I knew my vision and my goals. I knew where I wanted to go, what I wanted to build, and what I wanted to create. And so FreshBooks wasn't for me. I knew I needed to do QuickBooks because I have 1099 workers. I have employees that are W-2. So, but at minimum, have FreshBooks. Some have some type of accounting and accounting system, because you have to keep your business separate from your personal, okay? I said market your books to grown-ups. For those of you who have the children's book, definitely market your books to grown-ups. I have a chapter in my book called Eat the Fees and Make the Sales. And what I mean by that is, if I'm coming on your site and your service or product or what have you, your t-shirt, it's $19.95. I have $19.95 in my head. Now, when I go to that cart and now I got taxes and now I got shipping, I'm no abandoned cart person. I'm abandoning that cart so quick, your head gonna spin. When someone makes a sale to me or even quotes me a price and I'm paying by Square or I'm paying by PayPal and they want me to pay that convenience fee, I'm like, wait a minute, this is your convenience. This is a convenience for you, your company, not me. You eat that fee. I will pull out of that contract in a minute. Eat the fees and make the sale, because you are supposed to be writing off those fees on your taxes anyway, okay? You're supposed to be writing off those fees on your tax, so you eat it. You're losing money because people are abandoning your cart when you have these service fees that's your convenience. That's a convenience to your business. Don't make your customer pay any of that. Don't use PayPal then. If you can't afford the PayPal fee, the Square fee or whatever, don't use it. Figure out another way. Go back to mailing checks, do something, but you are losing sales when you do that. This is the part of doing business. Eat the fee and then write it off on your taxes at the end of the year. Make the sale, okay? All right, let's see what else I got. Is this good, Rhonda? Okay.
It's very good.
Okay.
I'm in it.
Start consulting for a fee instead of free. Start consulting for a fee instead of free. And if you need to go to your website when this is over and add a service called Pick Your Brain, $150 an hour, go do that, okay? Because as my content creator says, coffee ain't currency. We're not about to meet over coffee so you can pick my brain. That's called a consulting session, and coffee ain't currency. I might reward myself with, a venti white chocolate mocha with extra caramel and whipped cream after I finish a book, but you're not about to pay me with coffee. So create a service called a Pick Your Brain service, so that when someone's, oh, you wrote a book? Oh my gosh, I need you to tell me how you wrote a book. What? You got a $25,000 grant. I need you. You want to pick my brain? I'm going to send you the link to my service called Pick My Brain. And I mean that literally. Create a service called Pick My Brain. So when someone asks, can I pick your brain? Send them the link.
And bonus, that's a good way to make people leave you alone too, because they're not going to want to pay it.
Yes.
So true.
You'll be amazed how many people just like the Hansel and Gretel form. And what I mean by Hansel and Gretel, they will spend their whole lifetime just crumbs, free crumbs, free crumbs. They will follow somebody till the cows come home for free. But the minute they get to the final destination and they have to pay for the entire loaf of bread, now your information is not good enough for them anymore. Oh, wait a minute. It was free when she was saying that they are doing it here, giving it away. But now it's not good anymore with the price tag on it. So I'm not a Hansel and Gretel. I don't like to spend my time going to YouTube University, Google University. I don't want to reinvent the wheel if I can roll with the one that already exists. Okay? And so we have to get out of that Hansel and Gretel mindset that we got to take all of these crumbs when people can offer you on a silver platter the full loaf of bread, which means you can spend more time being creative. You can spend more time building your business. You can spend more time getting your message out to the masses versus trying to watch every free webinar, every free this, that, and the other. At some point, you have to invest in you. If you want readers, if you want partnerships, if you want other people to invest in you, but yeah, you won't invest in you, something's wrong with that picture. So at some point, you got to stop being Hansel and Gretel, trying to scour around the internet, getting all these free crumbs, and just invest in the invest in the loaf of bread. Use a layaway plan. There's a lot of tasks involved in building a business. There's going to be money involved, but you don't have to worry about or think about coming up with all the money all at once, but at least get an idea, get your quotes. If someone's going to offer you a free discovery call or a free consulting call, go ahead and take that call. Don't be in the mindset where, oh, I see their regular prices, so I'm not going to call them until I have some money. There's people who have called me and I've taught them how to get the money. I will do a discovery call in a heartbeat and tell you that, and that package is going to be $4,000. But if you go ahead and buy this course, which is make a living as a writer, that course is only $347, and you're going to make your money back 100-fold and be able to come back and pay me. And that's what people have been able to do. They've gone out and they've got the $4,000 grants to be able to pay for editing or book cover design and typesetting and things of that nature. So think about the layaway plan.
But what do you say to people say, oh, that's too much money, you're charging too much?
I'm Louis Vuitton. You were never my ideal customer. You can go get Coach, and if you can't do Coach, you can go get Tommy Hilfiger. You know, you done. I'm not trying
half brand.
Yeah, not everybody is going to be for you, and that's the first.
And that's what when people say it's too much. Okay, well,
yeah, somebody told me once that's pricey.
It's
they said, "Oh, that's pricey." I said, "No, it's priceless."
Yeah, I don't lower my prices. They're already low enough.
And I don't do the haggle thing because I know the benefits and the results that can be produced. Yes. And so I'm never offended by it. You just told me you're not my ideal client. You're not my ideal customer. It's out of your budget. It's not too expensive. It's just out of your budget. So, you know.
Or they just don't want to spend their money on that because they'll spend money on other stuff.
Yeah, they will.
And so I need my literary creatives and authors when it comes to your pricing. Like, this is my biggest pet peeve now. Since I got in this industry, books have been $14.95. My new book that's coming out is $24.95, and it is a paperback. I'm paying more for designers. I'm paying more for shipping. I'm paying more for my printer. I'm paying more for this, more for that. I'll be, pardon my French, damn, if I'm going to keep selling my book for $14.95 for the rest of my life. No, everybody else is increasing their charges. Ingram's increasing their charges. Everybody is increasing their charges, but that's bad business. You have to make sure that you increase your profit margin as prices go up. And we all know everything has gone up. So I am begging you to reconsider the pricing and think about the pricing when you're pricing your books and your services. And before I close out, I've talked about free money before. Rhonda, I gave you this link as well for my Make a Living as a Writer course. This course is entirely about making money. It's ways to make money. And I know, Rhonda, you and I had talked about once upon a time, even starting a 501c3. Now, a nonprofit is not a 501c3. A lot of people think, well, I'm going to start this nonprofit. But a nonprofit is not a 501c3. Nonprofit is state, 501c3 is federal. You have to get that 501c3. Rhonda, I shared a link with you for you DIYers out there. I shared a link with, if you want to set up your own, if you want to get your own 501c3, there is a DIY link on how you can absolutely do that yourself.
I just put it in the chat.
Yet I opted to be a social enterprise. When you do a nonprofit, when you do a 501c3, what you have to understand is no longer your business, it's public. It belongs to the public, okay? And everything is public. It's not your business. A nonprofit, a 501c3 is not yours. Anybody off the street legally can come and ask to see your books because it's public. I opted to become a social enterprise because I'm all about not trying to break through the literary industry's proverbial glass ceiling. I'm not about trying to get a seat at somebody else's table. I'm not about trying to break through doors and this, that, and the other. I'm about building my own. I'm about building my own. And so for me, I'm more of a social enterprise. That is the ultimate goal and mission of my company and the services we offer and why we teach the information we teach, because we want to equip you with the information and the tools and the resources you need to build your own publishing company, okay? To be able to negotiate your own porn rights, to be able to negotiate your own books to film, and all of that. That's what I share in my Make a Living as a Writer course. I give you the information, I give you the resources, I give you the links. This is where you need to go to be able to do those things. Authors, make sure you're selling the rights to your books for film. There are resources, tons of resources, tons of agencies. That's all they do. They have connections with the Hollywood. They have connections with the producers and the directors, and that's what they do. They negotiate film rights. Within the course, I give you a list of entertainment managers. I give you a list of entertainment agents. I give you a list of entertainment attorneys, all of that information. But I want to real quickly, fiscal agent. That's what I want to talk about, fiscal agent. So maybe you don't want to be a social enterprise. Maybe you don't want to do a nonprofit, get the 501c3. You can partner and connect with a fiscal agent, someone who does have a 501c3 status. So of course, their mission has to line up with your mission, okay? Their customers and clients in the community they serve should line up with yours. And in that partnership, industry standard is that fiscal agent will get 15% of any grants they get. But that fiscal agent will apply for those grants on your behalf as a partnership for you to hold an event or what have you. But for the work, and because it's their 501c3, they will actually get that 15%. And it's all legal. Let me see if I can find some more resources. Right now, I'm right into my curriculum that I teach in this course.
In the course you're talking about, I think I put the link to it. It's the Build Your Book Business course.
No, the Build Your Book Business course is where I'm, teaching you how to turn your book into a business. Everything from
Make a living as a writer.
Yeah, make a living as a writer. Right.
Okay. Unfortunately, you sent me the image, but I didn't get the actual link.
Okay, it's the same link. They're both the same link. Yep. Okay. So grants, fellowship, sponsors, resources, and again, inside the course, I give you the link. So they're if you were to get the digital version, the hyperlinks actually work. But you have places like Fractured Atlas. Amazon has a literary partnership grant, Creative Capital, the Art Sanctuary, Grant Space. Let's see. Wow, all types. Grants and fellowships, the Black Mountain Institute, they're here in Las Vegas, Nevada. And if you've ever done any type of fellowship or heard of any type of fellowship, and this is a literary fellowship, you will come to Las Vegas, depending on the term of the fellowship, for like 1 to 3 months, they will put you up in housing. They even pay you. Fellowships are great. Fellowships are absolutely great. Writing residencies. I shared the last time that I got a writing residency at the Writers Colony at Berry Hollow. There's money out there. There's money out there. A fiscal agent resource, the Fiscal Agent Directory. Okay, it's called fiscalsponsordirectory.org. Okay, fiscalsponsordirectory.org. The New York Foundation for the Arts, they have an ongoing open call for literary projects that they will partner with and be a fiscal agent for. So you have the idea, you have the thought, you have the concept, you have the event or whatever it is, you apply with them and they will decide yes or no, we will be a fiscal partner with you. So we'll apply for the grant, the sponsorship on our behalf and work with you to be able to produce that. So like I have 324 slides in here. There's so many. I mean, there's Tax Angel Investor Tax Credit Act. So if you ever heard of the angel investors, a lot of people will do it just because of the tax break they get. So there's actually an angel investor directory where you can actually find angel investors. So you can Google that, Angel Investor Directory. Again, within the course, I have all the links, so you don't have to go to Google University, YouTube University. You don't have to do all of that. I give you all of the links. If you want to turn your poetry books into greeting cards, I have about maybe 3 dozen submission guidelines for the different resources for places that are accepting submissions. So I'm just flipping through here and I'm like, book deal resources. I have a link to over 600 US literary agents. I have more book deal resources. Again, I'm looking at the time, we're already over. So, I mean, it's just so much. It's so much information. And I really did try to share as much as I could, but it's just so much.
Shared a lifetime of information, and we thank you.
And if people want your time with your course, then they have the option to do that. So in our last, we actually over time, but if people want to take your course, tell them how they can do that.
You can visit www.path2publishing.com/conference store, because I teach this live every year. And so we record it. So there's audio visual format where you get to hear me teaching it and talking it. And then again, there's the digital where you don't hear me, but it's all of these resources and the links work. So you don't have to go look up names and Google names. You click the link and it takes you right to where you need to be. If you want to be able to submit to LeBron James agency to have book to film or have him consider that, I have those resources in there. I had my VA research this for months. So all of that information in there, it's just going to save you time so that you can continue to build your literary legacy and continue to build your literary empire. And one tip for this books to film or any type of submission you do, when someone says oh, we do not accept non-solicited material, it doesn't mean they don't want it, and it doesn't mean they don't like it. I learned this from LeBron James agency. It means they didn't ask for it. They want you to go through the proper channels, which means send an inquiry first. Don't send your books, don't send your manuscripts. Send an inquiry first and then let them ask for it. So that's what it means when it says we do not accept unsolicited material. It doesn't mean we don't like it. It doesn't mean we don't want it. It means please go through the protocols of pitching us first and then allow us to ask for it.
And don't put a billboard in the middle of Atlanta and tell them that.
Although that did work for her.
It did work for her. I heard about it. It worked.
But he did have to tell her that that's not the right way to do it first, and then he gave her the job.
Yeah, but doing stuff outside the box works. It does actually work. So thank you so much, Joylynn. You're a gem, and we appreciate you so much. And thank you for being willing to do this. As we close out the year of 2021, we are excited about what's to come for 2022. We got some exciting stuff we're going to be doing next year. And we just hope all of you who are watching, if you're a reader, support the authors by buying their books. If you're an author, plan for greatness and step up your game for 2022. Put a big dream down on some paper. I have mine down. And don't forget.
Don't forget, don't just read the book. Leave a review. That goes so far with supporting an author. You may have read their books, but leave a review. Let other people know how you felt about that book, because many people buy books based on the reviews. And if you have no reviews, it's really hard to let people know that you have a good book. So put some reviews out there.
Yep. And even if you don't want to go put it on Amazon or Barnes & Noble, send it to the author. Authors, maximize and monetize your review. Put it on your website. You put it back out there. Don't make readers think they have to go to Amazon, they have to go to Barnes & Noble, they have to go to Goodreads. Email the author, inbox them, put it on their wall. We as authors should know or will learn how to maximize, optimize, and monetize your review in whatever form you give it to us.
Well, that's great. Well, and those of you who want to take Joylynn's course, or review her previous ones. And I'm sure there's a fee for that, which there should be. I'm sure there is. So go out there and do that, because what you want to do for 2022 is invest in you. I did a rhyme.
Okay.
Anyway, Anyway, that's it for this week for Black Authors Matter TV. We'll be back next week with a lineup of 4 amazing authors who will be with us next week. And for those of you all who know people who might want to watch the show or who can benefit from the show, tell them about it. So next year, which is next week, you can have them tune in. So I'm Gwen Richardson. I'm signing off for 2021. Good night.
Good night.
And I'm Dr. Rhonda Lawson. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you had a blessed 2021, and we're looking for an even more blessed 2022. Thank you, Joylynn, for putting us on the right path to publishing. See what I did?
Yes. So good night, everybody. And thank you so much. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.